Hello and welcome, my name is Sean from SkateHut and this is our third instalment of our series on how to skateboard. So this video is all about your first tricks on a skateboard. Now we have touched upon in brief a couple of these already. So hippie jumps we've touched upon, a throwdown you could class as a trick, that we've touched upon. We'll very briefly recap both of those and add 3 new tricks for you to get trying with. So we briefly touched upon hippie jumps. If you want the in-depth lesson, please check out our previous video and it will take you through exactly how to do it. But simply way of jumping on the board, landing back on it. The other one we touched upon, throwdowns, which is a way to go from standing to skating, which simple as so. Again, in-depth lesson is on our previous video, but to jump straight into some new ones, we have what a lot of people refer to as a pancake flip. I've come across mixed names for it. At the end of the day, names don't matter. All this trick is, it's a way of going from the board upside down to on its wheels. So quickly show you and we'll take you through the steps. That's all it is. So, first step, you can break it down as much as you want. Normally, when I'm conducting a lesson, we take it down to 3 stages. So the first one being 1 foot at a time, which you want the board halfway up your foot, so just by that bony part of your foot. All you do, keeping your foot straight, lift your leg and flop it straight over. If you drop your foot down, you'll lose the board or move too far forwards. Most common mistake. It's easy. A lot of people, it's boards on the feet, when they jump, they took the feet out of the way. You have to focus on keeping your foot straight to lift the board. Now once you practice enough with 1 foot, simply repeat with your other foot. Once you are comfortable with those first 2 stages, you want to do it all in one but without the board. I normally use the board as an obstacle just to make sure people are jumping high enough and to keep your feet flat. It makes it very obvious then if you're tucking them back. So just straight over. Also helps with your aim. When people begin, especially if you've got someone assisting you, or a wall or a ledge, something to grab onto when you land to help stop you from rocking. This helps because you can see that point, that is where you want to land. Taking all this into account, time to give it a go. I jumped far too forwards, started to go forwards, but as you notice I didn't shoot out, didn't fall. Why? Knees. Bending my knees when I land, so that way even if I'm too far forwards, like on that attempt, or too far backwards, it takes a lot of the energy out, it lets you walk it off. Bringing the board back, we'll try again. So this way, want to land there, because we landed too far ahead, we'll come back a bit. The trick was done. Like with the snippet at the end of the last video, if you are finding this difficult landing on a smooth surface, you're rocking around a bit, again, try this on the grass, gravel with skater trainers. It will immobilise the board when you land. Just try not to stick with that for too long. It's important to have that little feel as it rocks, because it helps you learn how to use your knees to absorb the energy. But that is the first trick. Okay, so our next one is going to be a pivot. Pivots can also be used when you get towards kick turns. So that's when you take towards a ramp and you turn from going up the ramp to coming back forwards. For the purposes of this lesson, it's just going to be on flat ground. And the easiest one to start with is a fakie pivot. Fakie in skateboarding just means going backwards. Why this is easier, because the motion of you going backwards will help you to turn, and it means the landing portion of the trick is a lot easier because you're already traveling forwards. If it helps, use a wall, anything you can push yourself into fakie with. For myself, because I've skated a while, I can just jump into fakie. Don't worry about trying to get the grips of that at the moment. It's not that important. But what you do need to be comfortable with is the pivoting aspect from our previous video. To quickly touch back up on that. To keep your foot firm on your tail, you relax the weight on your front leg, being careful not to lean too far back. You look in the direction you want to go. Lead with your shoulder closely followed by your hip and your knee. So it's going to be a full 180-degree rotation. I want to go that way, so look and turn. As I said a minute ago, it's easier on the move. So if I just skate up a bit, I'll come down, you'll see how my body moves, and that should help. So use this little curb here. Push back, look over, and go. Now, as you'll have noticed, I bent my knees as soon as I landed. You're going to get incredibly bored of me talking to you about my knees and bending. It is everything in helping keep you balanced, taking the shock out if you under rotate a little bit or go too far. If your knees are bent, it makes it a lot easier to control. Common mistakes with this is more often than not a lack of practice in terms of taking the smaller steps, gradually adding more to your rotations. When you can get over 90 degrees stationary, you should be at a position to start to try this. Please keep it slow. If you go fast at this point, it is not helpful at all. Keep it slow, a little bit, look where you want to go and turn. So that about wraps up our third installment of this series. There will be more coming. We'll go further into different styles, different tricks, but I hope all of this has helped to date. If there's anything you want to go back, please check our other videos and keep an eye out for the ones coming. But for now, peace.